Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the CAS 360 Tips and Tricks webinar. My name is Warren, and I'll be taking you through the session today. So I'll just get the slides up. Hopefully you can see the slides up on your screen now, and hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. Now, today we are going to go through CAS 360 automation. So the topic today is all about automation. We do have a webinar series going on throughout May, so a tips and tricks webinar series throughout May. So on the 13th, we'll be going through getting the best out of CAS 360, so a number of best practice tips. On the 20th of May, we'll be going through trust management in CAS 360. And on the 27th of May, we'll be going through a number of the CAS 360 integrations. So really trying to give everyone as much information and knowledge about CAS 360 over these 4 webinars. Now, with some of the content today, some of you will have seen it before. We do go through a very fundamentals automation session today where we go through the alerts and we go through notifications, but also preparing annual reviews and things like that. If you are new to CAS 360, I think you'll find this very beneficial. If you have used CAS 360 before in the past, or you have used CAS 360 for a while, there will be some little things that I think we'll be able to show you today that might actually help you take your processing in CAS 360 to the next level and really help you save a fair bit of time. Now, joining me today in the Q&A is Andy and Jeremy. They're both members of the CAS 360 product team. If you do have any questions throughout the webinar, please type them into the Q&A section of Zoom. And what we will do is we'll do our very best to get to these questions throughout the whole session, okay? So what we're going to be able to do is answer a lot of those. I will answer a few of those live. I'm just closing a few of those questions up. I will answer a few of those questions live when they come through, but certainly Andy and Jeremy will be able to answer those questions as they come through. But what we'll do now is we'll get into some of the features and some of the automation features that we'll cover in today's session. So the first place I want to start is with spreadsheets. Now, I'll tell you all a little bit of a story. When we built CAS 360, one of the first things we did is we went out and spoke to a number of firms that were using CAS Desktop. And we really wanted to focus and examine on the work and the processes that were being done outside of CAS Desktop. And what we wanted to do was to bring that work into CAS 360 and really automate as much of it as possible. So what we've got is we've looked at a whole heap of annual review spreadsheets and a whole heap of document deadline spreadsheets and calendar entries and things like that. And we've brought them into CAS 360. And we've really tried to utilize the web tools that we have today to automate a lot of that spreadsheet manual entry that you were doing. Now, if you are still using spreadsheets, I understand there's some incredible spreadsheets that have been created, and trust me, no one does spreadsheets like accountants. They are just the masters at it. But if you are using spreadsheets to manage your annual reviews, or you're using spreadsheets to manage your document deadlines, what I'm going to show you is some of the features in CAS 360 that are actually doing this work already for you. So while you may have some really incredible spreadsheets, it's taking you a lot of time to maintain them. And in some cases, or most cases, CAS 360 is actually already doing this for you. Okay, so I'm going to go through and show you a number of those things today, but I wanted to really bring that to your attention before we start. Now, the first place I'm going to start, and this is where everyone should start their day. If you are not starting your day by checking the notifications feed in CAS 360, I think it's a really good chance for you to start, because what we have in that notifications feed is everything that has happened. Right? Every connection that has been made. If you are connecting to ASCII, which we do every single day, we are connecting to ASCII, we are checking your debt reports, we're bringing in your annual reviews, we're seeing which clients have paid debt. All of that information is delivered to you in your notifications feed. Okay, so you can see it first thing in the morning. We are also checking here for things like DocuSign responses. So when a client signs a document with DocuSign, you get a real-time notification. You get a notification in CAS 360 about 3 seconds after it's happened, and you can easily click on the lodge button and lodge that document to ASCII. You don't need to dig around or check your emails or anything like that, because it all comes directly into the product. And one of the other things that's really nice in our notification screen is you get your SMS responses. So if you are sending SMSs, and I do cover it in today's session, if you're sending SMSs through CAS 360, all of your responses will actually come into your notifications feed, and you're able to reply to the client from within CAS 360 and actually have a discussion as well. So what I'll do is I'll go now to CAS 360 and I'll show you exactly some of these features that I'm talking to you about. So inside CAS 360, the first place where you should start when you first log in is this notifications bell. So you click on this, and what you will have here is all of your unread notifications. Now, a lot of the time, these things will have happened since the last time you logged in. All of the connections that CAS 360 does with ASCII to get your annual reviews, to update your company debts, to check if clients have paid debts, to retrieve ASCII invoices, all of that happens while you sleep. So going to your notification screen is a great way to see exactly what has happened overnight. And you see this information, it will come up in real time. So here you will see annual review for company XYZ has been received. Company debts for this particular company have been updated. You'll also see if a client has paid its debt, okay? Because what we're able to do is we're able to verify the debt information from yesterday's balance to today's balance and see if there's been a payment made. So check these unread notifications. I can show you a few examples here. Here I've got a DocuSign signed document. Now we're going to cover DocuSign much more in the integrations webinar, but if you are using DocuSign and it's integrated with CAS 360, you unlock a huge amount of features. And what I can see here is the documents have been digitally signed for this particular company, and I can click on lodge, and I'm able to lodge that document off really quickly. So I don't need to go and check or dig around or even go to the document screen to lodge it with ASCII. I can lodge it directly from the notification. I've also got here an email that's failed. So with CAS 360, it's all about delivering the document and getting that document into your client's hands quicker. But one thing that we've added to CAS 360 is email fails. So when we receive a fail from the email server that we're sent it to, you'll receive a notification. And you can see here straight away if that email has failed. Also, if you lodged a document at 5 o'clock and didn't wait for the validation report to come in before you went home or before you turned the computer off at night, in your notifications, we'll also have all of your lodgement responses, in particular if it's been a rejected lodgement. So you'll have all of that information there. Also, if you're using CAS 360 connected to Xero Practice Manager or even Simple Fund 360, you'll get information about contacts or changes that have been made to contact records in those products, and they'll be delivered directly to you through your notification screen. And as you can see here, I've got a change of address for a contact in XPM, and I can easily click on prepare form and start that form preparation process. I can also have an address change here for Warren, and I can click on prepare form and start that address change process from the information that's been entered into Simple Fund 360. So you're really able to be up to date with all of the things that have happened essentially in the last 12, 24 hours or since you last logged in, to see all of the information that has happened and potentially the things that you need to action. Now, there are a couple of little features that we have here as well in the notifications, and most importantly, label filters. Now, if your practice has multiple company secretary staff and you are responsible for only a particular group of companies, then the best thing to do is to favorite the labels of those particular companies. So set up a label, maybe your name or the partner that you work for, that particular name. And what you're able to do is then have all of your notifications filtered by just the clients that you look after. Okay, and that means you don't have to worry about the notifications that maybe aren't all that relevant to you. You can really just focus on those notifications that really require your action rather than someone else within your firm. The other thing that's really nice in the notification screen is the search, and this is a really powerful search. What you're able to do is actually search across any bit of data that may have been received. So you might want to search by 484, for example, and you'll find all of your 484 lodgement responses here. You might even want to search by a particular client's name, and you'll find all of the notifications relating to that client. So what you're going to be able to do is really search and use a powerful search across those notifications to find information that has happened. Even if you lodged a document 6 months ago or 12 months ago and the notification has been read, you're actually going to be able to search across all of your notifications and find all of those particular notifications that mention that particular keyword or that client or that trace number. So the best place to start is with your notifications, because that will inform you about everything that has happened, and it's all automated. It's all connected to the web, and it's all being delivered to you like a news feed. Now, coming soon, I don't like to tease features too much, but coming soon, you'll actually be able to receive an email of this notification feed sent directly to you, and again, have it specific to your labels or to your whole firm or both. So that's a little tease of a feature that is coming soon. Just got a couple of questions coming through. I'll get to them in a sec. I'll move on. I'll move back over to my slide. And the next feature I'm going to focus on here is all about the alerts and the automation that happens with the alerts. So for those of you that have used CAS 360 for a while now, you will probably know that the alerts are very powerful, but you probably know exactly how they work. But for those of you that are new to CAS 360, this is a really good place to start using these automation features and to maybe ditch the spreadsheet. So the 3 alerts that I'll focus on in today's webinar, the annual review alert, and this gives you everything you need to do to manage your reviews. It will make sure you don't miss an annual review. The main reason these spreadsheets are kept is so that you don't miss an annual review and get a late fee that you were completely surprised about because you weren't expecting an annual review, or you were expecting to receive an annual review and you didn't receive it. Okay, so everything you need to manage the annual reviews. And then I'm going to show you the document deadline alerts. And this is everything you need to manage the upcoming deadlines for your ASCII forms, but also for the return of the annual review. And I'll focus a bit on that. And then obviously your company debt alerts, the debt balance, and also the ASCII invoice. Now, all of these are completely automatic. Every single user of CAS 360 has these alerts, and they work without any user intervention. So I'll show you how these work. So if I go back to CAS 360, I've now got my company screen up, and this is where we're going to have a look at the first alert. So this is the annual review alert. Now you'll notice that there's 3 alert columns. They've all got different colors. They've all got different meanings. If you ever wanted to see what they all meant, click on the alert question mark there, and you've got a full breakdown of everything that those alerts mean. If I click on the annual review alert, what I've got is my alerts are broken up into 3 groups. I've got my annual reviews received, which are great, and they're ready to process. I've got my upcoming annual reviews, and this is a snapshot at the next, I think it's 5 days of annual reviews that I'm expecting to receive. And then I have the most important ones, the date passed. So the red annual review alerts. So I'll start with them. If I click on date passed, this will filter and show me all of the annual reviews that CAS 360 expected me to receive, okay, or CAS 360 expected to receive, but we have not received. So again, this is why we have those spreadsheets today. The red annual review alert will highlight all of the annual reviews that we should have received, but we have not. Now, if this particular company is a live client, CAS 360 will actually continue to re-request the annual review. So you actually don't need to do anything here. You'll just, CAS 360 every 3 days will keep checking for that annual review. It'll keep lodging a re-request. Now, if these alerts stay red and they stay red for a week or 2 weeks, generally it's because that company is no longer your client. That company is no longer on your registered agent list with ASCII, and ASCII are deliberately not sending the annual review to you because they have sent it to another agent. Okay, so what CAS 360 is doing is making sure that you don't miss the annual review because we automatically re-request it. But when we continually get rejections for the re-request, it's because you're not the agent or because that company has been deregistered. So whenever you receive these red annual review alerts, investigate and see if this particular company is your client. Because if they're not your client, you can click on options and deactivate company. And what the deactivate company will do is it will remove the company from your active list. It will still keep all of the company history, all of the company documents in CAS 360, and you'll be able to restore it at any time, but you essentially stop paying for it. Okay, it comes off your subscription. Now you can review your deactivated companies at any point in time. Just click on the deactivated company screen and you will see them all here. And you can easily restore them. The second alert I'll focus on is the upcoming alert. As I mentioned, this one is really just showing you what is upcoming and what is coming soon, what CAS 360 is expecting to receive soon. And now for the main ones, the annual review received. So these are our green alerts. And one of the things that if you are focused on completing the annual reviews, one of the first things you can do is click on annual review alert, annual review received. It will filter all of the companies on the screen that don't have an annual review received, and you're able to just focus on the companies that you need to process those annual reviews for. If I go now through to my annual review screen, we have the next stage of automation. Obviously, if you're coming from CAS Desktop, the annual reviews are automatically downloaded by CAS 360. You don't have to do that manual lodgement. Okay, so CAS 360 has automatically received the annual review. And then we go to the next phase of the automation, and that is all about the comparison. So this is this particular column here, the comparison. So what CAS 360 does for you automatically is it gets the ASCII record and it compares it to the data that you have in CAS 360. So what we're running here is we've got a series of algorithms that match the two sets of data together, and they are there to deliberately find any discrepancies. Okay, so I can click on my company, go into my annual review comparison screen. I can see I've got some issues with officers and some members. And what I can see here is I can see that I've got shareholders in the CAS 360 database that are not in the ASCII database. So what the system is doing here is automatically highlighting these problems for you. And now you can go and investigate why. Why does CAS 360 have a shareholder that ASCII doesn't? Why does ASCII have a shareholder that CAS 360 doesn't? So what CAS 360 is doing here is it's automatically highlighting and flagging to you that there's issues with this particular company that need to be looked into. Okay, so phase one of the automation is receiving the annual review. Phase two is really about comparing and finding discrepancies for you. And that's really so that you can easily process the companies that have passed. You don't need to do any work. You'll simply see the passed tick, and you'll be able to easily process the document pack. But for the ones that fail, obviously there's going to be a little bit of work required. And now we're going to prepare the annual review document pack. And I've got a few little automation tricks that I'll show you that might really help you speed up the process of getting the annual review out of your office even quicker. So I'm going to click on Prepare Documents, and up will come my document production screen. Okay, so there's a few little things that I first want to flag to you. The first one is the big blue box across the top. And what we've got here is a toggle that is an opt-in, so you do have to turn it on, but to track the annual review via the document deadline alert. So I recommend that you all turn this on, because what it will then do is it will add the annual review and the return of the annual review to your document deadline alert. And that will mean that you'll be able to track the return of all of the annual reviews. So another reason why spreadsheets are being used for company secretary work, first of all, to manage the annual review and make sure you receive it, but then to make sure that the annual review is returned to the accounting firm. CAS 360 has an automatic feature for this. So if you toggle that on, we automatically get that feature, and that feature is now turned on, and you can use CAS 360 to manage the return of the annual review. The next feature, and this is the key feature, if you only take one feature away from this particular webinar, I want it to be this one. If you are preparing an annual review pack and you've got a cover letter and you're preparing that cover letter in Microsoft Word, please stop. Because what we've done in CAS 360 is we've built a document template that you can customize. You can copy and paste your exact Word template, put in a few merge fields, and CAS 360 will do the work for you. Okay, I'll show you how this works. So here I've got my cover letter. If I go into options, what I've done is I've put in my document template. Now, we did do a whole webinar on document templates last week, but I'll show you where to get this from. But we do have a document template here. I'm going to save that. Then I'm going to click on my cover letter just to preview it. And up comes my cover letter. But what you will notice here is all of the information in this particular company has been pre-filled into my cover letter. So I have the director, the company name, obviously the director's first name, the company name listed in the email body, the ASCII fee outstanding, okay, and the steps that are required, and then a dodgy looking signature of mine at the bottom. But what we have, we also have our logo at the top of the document as well. So what you can do is you can get your Microsoft Word template, put in a couple of merge fields, and you're going to be able to prepare your cover letter from directly inside CAS 360. And that means when you email the document off to your client, you've got the cover letter that you're really happy with and the rest of the document pack that you're able to easily deliver to the client. So you're able to automate the process of creating the cover letter for the annual review. So here I've got the rest of the annual review pack, and I've got a few options that I can change with the documents. I'm not going to get into them today. The other step of automating this process is if you need the document to be reviewed by a partner or a manager. Okay, now many of you may need the document to be reviewed by a partner or a manager before it's able to be sent to the client. Understand, and what we've done in CAS 360 is built a process directly for that, so that you can send the document to your partner or manager for review from within CAS 360, and that document never actually leaves CAS 360. You don't have to print it off and put it on the desk, or you don't have to email the document to yourself and then write an email to the partner or manager and attach the documents. All of that is just wasted time. So what we've done in CAS 360 is we've built that process for you. So if you need the documents to be reviewed, and if that is your current workflow, then use this particular feature, flag documents to be reviewed. You toggle it on, and straight away up will come a list of all of the users in your CAS 360 account. So if your partner or manager is not a CAS 360 user, we'll need to add them, but they don't need to know how to use the product. It's fine. And we can water down their access so that they're only able to approve and reject documents. They're not able to change company records. But what you're able to do here is flag a particular person that's going to receive these documents for review. Okay, so I'll click on send. Up comes my email template. Now, again, you can customize the email template. Okay, and you can really, just like you've got the cover letter, you can customize the email template to make it look really, really good. But I hit send here, and what's going to happen is that is going to be emailed not to the client, but it's going to be emailed to Andy, who I selected for review, and Andy's going to receive an email telling him that a document has been prepared and for him to review. So what we've got there is a number of processes that can help you save time, from downloading the annual review to making sure you haven't missed any annual reviews, to running the comparison report for you automatically, highlighting any discrepancies, to preparing your cover letter and tracking the annual review so that you don't miss any annual reviews, or you're able to send reminders for annual reviews, which I'll get to in a second. And then you've also got the review from your partner before it goes out to the client. And then at the last stage, you've got a customizable email template. So all of that processing, once we have that all in motion, you're really going to be able to prepare and process annual reviews really quickly. Now, I've got a few questions here coming through, so I'll try and jump on those. Is there an option to import postal address in CAS? The addresses listed in the database are only street and database, not postal addresses. Karen, yes, you can. Each company does allow a postal address. So if you go into a particular company, click on the addresses tab, there is a postal address there that you're able to enter in. And best of all, on your cover letters, you're able to specify to use the postal address as well. So you're able to use that. There was another question. There's been a lot of questions answered. So Andy and Jeremy have done a lot of work. So well done, guys. What I'll do is I'll move on to the next alert, which is all about your document deadlines. So I'll show you a little bit about how this works and how it's completely automatic. So here I've got my company. I'm going to go in and I'm going to prepare a change of offices. So I click on offices. I've got my transaction prepared and ready to go. The person was appointed on the 16th of April. So if I click on prepare forms, I'm just going to download the documents just to do it quickly. What we've done now is we've prepared the document pack. So that document pack has been prepared now. Obviously, you can email it off to your client, you can download it, export it to PDF. But that's the work that you've done, and you've created the document and sent it to the client. Now, if I go back to the company screen, you'll notice that I now have an alert here. What CAS 360 is automatically doing is calculating the days until that document is late. Okay, until that document is late and you're going to get an ASCII penalty. So what CAS 360 is doing for you automatically is every document you prepare, and if you toggle on the annual review toggle, you're going to get it for your annual reviews as well, is we're calculating when those documents are going to be late. So we're actively telling you and alerting you and updating you every day on when these documents are going to be late and when penalties are going to kick in. And what you're able to do is you're able to send reminders. So you can click on send reminder. You're able to customize the reminder. You're able to attach the document in the reminder, and you're able to send the reminder via email or SMS. If you're not sending SMSs out of CAS 360, I suggest you try it. You get a fantastic response rate, and we do not charge for SMSs. Okay, it is included in your subscription, so send as many as you like. But you'll get a great response to the SMS. A reminder like this, with the document toggled on, will have the document in the SMS. It's really, really nice, and it gets that information to your company director or to the person responsible really, really quickly. Instantly. Everyone's got their phones on them all the time. While you might ignore emails for a week, chances are you don't ignore an SMS for a week. So certainly try SMSs out, but send your reminders, really simple templated reminders created by the data that CAS 360 has in it, so that you're not maintaining this information in a spreadsheet or in another package. With our document deadline alerts, we do allow you to filter by particular days. So if you wanted to focus on your more urgent alerts, the ones that are due today, ones that are due in 7 days, you can focus on those and basically send those reminders out first. Where you have annual review tracking on, you'll receive a message like this. For this particular client, their annual review deadline has passed, and they've also got an ASCII form deadline passed as well. So what you're able to do is you're able to send a reminder for the annual review or send a reminder for the Form 484. Also, if they've returned the annual review, you're able to click on complete annual review, and that will remove the alert, okay? Because the annual review process from signing or delivering the form and getting the signed document back, that has been completed. I know there's still the payment step, and we're about to touch on that right now. The next step is the next alert is all about your ASCII debt. Okay, and this is a really powerful feature, and a feature that, you know, previously company debt wasn't managed in a lot of software products, and CAS 360 is really, you know, through the alert system, helps you manage that debt better than ever. So every single day, CAS 360 is connecting to ASCII and downloading the debt balances for every single one of your companies. Okay, it's completely automatic. You do not have to do anything. All of your ASCII invoices are imported into CAS 360 overnight. Again, completely automatic. You don't have to do anything. And what you are given is the debt balance for every single one of your clients. It's live. We actually have a timestamp inside the alert telling you exactly when it was last updated. Obviously, I've got some dodgy data. Yours will all be this morning. What we've also got is a copy of the ASCII invoice ready for you to view. So for this particular client, I've got a $732 debt. If I click on this blue link, I can see the official ASCII invoice with the ASCII logo, and I can see exactly what made up the invoice. So I've got the two lines there on page 2 with the breakdown of the full amount, okay? This is always a great place to start when it comes to an ASCII debt, because you're able to see exactly where the debt came from. What we've also got is the BPay details here. If you're paying the debt on behalf of your clients, click on pay, okay, and we take you directly through to the AusPost Bill Pay page with the reference number, with the amount already pre-filled, so you don't have to key it in. But if it's your client's responsibility to pay their debts, which it is for many of you, you're able to now send a reminder. So you can click on send reminders. And what you're able to do here is send a reminder via email or SMS. Again, you're able to send email or SMS. You're able to attach the official ASCII invoice. It will be attached in the email. It will be attached in the SMS. Your recipients here, and I will touch on this, the recipients here are the billing contacts for every company. So we will pre-fill the billing contacts. So if you have a particular client that you don't deal directly with the director, you might deal with a bookkeeper, or you might deal with someone else, what you can do is you can set them up as a billing contact, and they will receive all of the bills, all of the invoices from ASCII through CAS 360 rather than the directors. Okay, so you can put them in as a billing contact, and that will allow you to do that. Click on send. And what I've got here is my email template that I'm able to send off to the client with the Pay Now button. Okay, so here your client is able to click on Pay Now, and it takes them directly to that Australian Post bill pay site with all the data pre-filled in. So they just have to enter in their credit card, and they can very easily pay the bill. If your company debt balances are going up and up every day and you're not sending the reminders, start sending them. There's a few things that are really, really important with sending these reminders, and that is getting them out before the debt increases and making sure that your clients are able to get this information. One of the things that I always do when I go and speak to clients is go into their debt balances and find out who's going to get an ASIC penalty tomorrow, and send an SMS to their client today. Because if you're able to send an SMS to your client today and save them $300, they're going to be wrapped. So don't be afraid to use the SMS. Send the SMS out, because if you're sending this free SMS out to your client or email out to your client and you're saving them hundreds of dollars, I think they're going to be very happy. All right, I'll check if there's any questions. I think there's a few here. Can I get an alert when the annual return arrives into CAS 360? I did touch on that. You will very soon, in the next couple of weeks, be able to get an email alert that will tell you that you've received annual reviews. So there are some things there. Are there any plans to allow the addition of the firm's invoice to be generated similar to the cover letter automatically as part of the annual review pack? Gloria, you've asked the question if there are any plans. I'll say yes, there are plans, but not too soon. What I'm going to do now is move over to my next slide, which talks about the annual review automation, which we have touched on. And then the next one is all about your automated document reminders. Okay, so here I'm going to show you something that many of you may not have seen, or many of you may not have used before. And what we're able to do here is we're able to prepare our documents like normal. And then instead of waiting for the alerts, we're able to pre-set up reminders to be sent out to the clients. Okay, you can create these reminders at the time of production. You can create them also after you've prepared the documents in the document screen. Okay, and you can send reminders by email or by SMS or by both email and SMS. And we were inspired by the Old El Paso commercial when coming up with that feature. So I'll show you how it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my company and prepare that exact same change. So officers, I'm going to appoint Warren as a secretary, click on prepare forms. Now, what you'll notice is next to download all and send all, I have the two buttons there, but I have these little arrows pointing up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click send all, but I'm going to click on the arrow, and this is how you activate this feature. So it's no more work to activate it. I'm going to then click on this arrow, and I've got here send all and set up automatic document reminders. So I'm going to click on that. What this is going to do is it's going to prepare the documents like normal. It's going to prepare my email templates like normal, and I can hit send. And that has now been sent off to the client. Now, if I wanted to put partner review in, I could get the partner to review it. All of those features are there. But because I've clicked set up automated reminders, I'm given this screen. Okay, so this is the screen for automated document reminders. And what I'm able to do is set up the reminders to be pre-sent. Now, one of the things CAS 360 does for you is it tells you exactly when the lodgement is due. So up in bold up the top of the screen, CAS 360 has told me that this document's due on the 13th of May. Okay, because we have pre-worked out when it's due. And what that means is that the reminders need to be sent before the 13th. So the first reminder, CAS 360 has suggested the 7th. Okay, and you can specify the time. Okay, you can get very specific with the time, but we've got it here at 9 a.m. Now we can send it via email or via SMS, or as I mentioned, both. So I'm going to send it as both. And then what we can do is we can select the templates. So this is all about setting up your email templates and your SMS templates. So you can select the template. And because it's a DocuSign document, what it's going to do, it's automatically pre-filled the recipients. Okay. If it wasn't a DocuSign document, you can specify different recipients if you want to get different reminders. But for the DocuSign documents, obviously, these are the two directors that need to sign the documents. So they're already pre-specified. Now, if one reminder is not enough, we can set up another one. So CAS 360 has suggested the 10th. And this time I'm going to send it just as an email. Okay. But I can, again, select another one. And then what I'm going to do is add another reminder. And now CAS 360 has suggested the due date. Now you can add up to 6 reminders, so you aren't limited to 3. In this example, I'm only going to show 3. And on the final reminder, I'm going to send it as an SMS. And to be annoying, I might send it at 7 a.m., not 9 a.m. Maybe I'll get a better response. And what I can do now is I can click on save, and that will save those automated reminders. So those reminders are now preset. I do not need to go check the alerts for that particular document because I know that the system is going to send those reminders for me. There's a couple of features around those automated reminders to show you exactly what's going to be sent. So the first thing is if I go to my document screen from Global Documents, I'll be able to see that this particular document has pending reminders. So it has reminders that are going to be sent. So the blue bell there will identify that for you. Okay, now what I can do is I can click on that bell and it will take me directly to those reminders where I'm able to see them. I'm also able to edit them if I wanted to. Okay, if I wanted to add another one in, I could do that. I've got full control there. But also if I go to my messages, pending outbox screen, here I can see all of those pending reminders. So here I can see every reminder that the system is going to send. Okay, so I've got a full list here of all of those documents that are going to be sent. Now, if I click on options, edit, again, I can edit those reminders before they are sent. If I go to my company screen, I can also click on my alert and I've got a blue box here telling me that the reminder is going to be sent on the 7th of the 5th at 9 a.m. So I don't have to send a reminder. I can see that it's already been configured. Now, how do they work if the document is lodged? So we've preset these reminders up. Okay, so the client is going to get these 3 reminders. But what if on the 6th of May, the client returns the document and we're able to successfully lodge it? What we can do is we can go to the document screen, find the document, obviously we click on lodge. That will change the status to lodged. Okay, and you'll receive a notification saying automated reminders for this document have been disabled. So the last thing we want to do is send a reminder to your client that is unnecessary. So as soon as that document becomes lodged, the reminders will no longer be sent. The same as if you mark the annual review as complete. So if you set up automated reminders for the annual review and you set up annual review reminders every week, for example, when the annual review is set as complete, you'll receive this exact same message. Now, I mentioned at the start when I was going through automated reminders that you can prepare them from the document screen as well. To do that, all you need to do is click on Options, Add Automatic Document Reminders. And straight away you have your automatic document reminder screen where you're able to easily add those reminders, as many as you like, but you get the exact same feature, the exact same function. So you can do it on a document that you've already prepared. You don't have to do it at the time of production. It's completely up to you. So that's a bit of an overview of automatic reminders. I'll just jump on and see if there's any questions here. There's a couple here that have been answered. The last one there was, can we send DocuSign from our own email address rather than CAS 360? I'll explain that there. You can configure some of the settings. It won't come from your own email, but if you go into email settings, what you've got the ability to do is to specify the sender name. So you can use your first name and surname, or you can put in something like your firm name. Okay, so you can do this directly through email settings. You can also specify a reply to address. Okay, so here you can specify a reply to address so that if your client does reply, it will come to you. rather than to no reply at cas360.com. I've got a couple of minutes left. If you do have any questions, please put them into the Q&A. There's one more automation feature that I wanted to show you, and this is all about tracking. Okay, so one of the things that CAS360 does is it tracks all of the work that you do, and it does that so that it gives you an audit trail and it gives you all the information that you need to verify things. So every time you send, for example, a reminder to a client, that is tracked. So you can go to your messages screen, and what you've got here is an outbox. Now this outbox is really unique. This outbox tracks every single email that you have sent to a client, whether it's regarding a Form 484, whether it's regarding an annual review, whether it's regarding a reminder. What you have is a firm-wide outbox. This is so much more powerful than individual outboxes within your firm for different staff members, because you can't see what other people have sent. Well, I hope you can't anyway, but you can't see what other people have sent. In CAS360, you actually get a firm-wide outbox, so you can see what other staff have done and what they have sent, and if they were covering for you, that you can check to make sure that they've covered for you properly. So you're going to be able to see all of the emails that have been sent, and you can actually type in a particular company name. So I can type in here Daniel's RegTech company, and I can see here that Daniel's received a lot of emails for his particular company. And I can see whether they're related to annual reviews, whether they're related to reminders, things like that. This can really help you if you get into a situation where a client says that they weren't ever reminded about a particular debt or deadline. So you've got full tracking there. You've also got the ability to see if the message was delivered or if the message had failed. You can also go into options view, and you can view a copy of the email. The same applies for your SMSs. Now, I mentioned at the start of the webinar that SMSs are two-way. Every single SMS that you send and every single SMS that you receive from a client is tracked, and you can actually have two-way conversations with your client via SMS in CAS360, and it is all tracked. So you can see all of that communication, all of that information that's taken place. And most importantly, we do support emojis. Obviously, if I go to my global document screen, we track here every single document that you have prepared. We track every document that was sent for review, and we track the delivery of the document as well. Now you can do this by going into options, history, and you'll be able to see the whole history of the document. So I can see here who sent the document and when they sent it and what time they sent it. If the document was then signed and then lodged, you would have a nice timeline of everything in that particular document's life. So hopefully that helps you out with a fair bit of the automation features in CAS360. So just to recap today, we covered obviously the notifications feed, which is a really important part of CAS360 and really should be the place to start so that you can see everything that's happened since the last time you logged in. We covered off all the alerts, the annual review alert, the document deadline alert, and the debt alert, so that you've got some really automatic alerts there that will alert you about key information for the company and also alert you about the companies that you need to do work on. We focused on the annual review and how we can process and streamline that annual review workflow, from the comparison report, which is automatic, from tracking the document, which is automatic, from putting in your annual review cover letter, and then also flagging the documents for review by a partner or manager. And then we went through automatic document reminders, which is one feature I really hope you all have a bit of a look at and try it out, because it does streamline and automate the reminders that you are going to need to send in the future. What I will do now is I will hang around for a few more questions. If you do have any questions, please feel free to post it in the Q&A and I'll hang around and hopefully answer as many questions as I can. But I will say thank you all for coming along to the session today. I hope you got a bit out of it. We do have 3 more sessions coming up in May, so I hope you can join me. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, a couple of other questions. CAS Desktop only required 1 director signature on resolutions, whereas CAS360 requires all directors. Is it director's signature is necessary for compliance? Kelly, you do have choice. in regards to minutes and resolutions, generally the resolutions are signed by all directors, whereas the minutes are generally signed by the chairperson. Okay, so you do have full control every time in CAS 360. I shouldn't say every time, just about every time in CAS 360 when you prepare a resolution, you can change it to a minute and vice versa. There's some strict rules in the Corporations Act about a couple of resolutions that must be done. But generally you have complete control over minutes and resolutions. If I go into, for example, my annual review screen, if I click on prepare documents, I've got here my solvency resolution. I can click on options and I can always change that from a resolution to a minute. So hopefully that answers that question. If you download excuse me, if you download annual review docs rather than emailing them via DocuSign, what status should the document be set to in order for the alerts to show up? Currently, I have review docs with the amount owing, but they are not showing up in the reviews tab and there is no alert. Catherine, I think the best thing for you to do is to toggle that, the blue toggle on. That will automatically activate the alert. So the alert will be activated regardless of if you are downloading the documents to PDF, regardless of if you are sending them via CAS 360 or if you are sending them via DocuSign, okay? So toggle on that blue toggle and then click download or send all, or download will work, either will work. And what you're able to do is then track that. But if you're having any issues with that, please let us know, but you don't need to customize the status at all. If you toggle on the blue toggle, that should work. Question here, what phone number appears when you send a message from CAS 360? My phone's over there, I can check it out. It is a number that BGL own. Maybe Andy or Jeremy could type what the number is. It is a number that BGL own. It does just come up as a number. There is a technical reason as to why. It must come up as a number because without it coming up as a number, the client can't respond. Okay, so if it came up with something like ABC accounting, the client can't respond to that. SMS protocol doesn't work that way. But when it comes up with a number, you can respond. What you can do, however, is you can completely customize the SMS that is sent to your client. So one of the things that we were really big on was putting the firm name in the SMS template so that you can say this is ABC Accountants in the body of the SMS. So hopefully that helps that question. Question here, do you mean send them just one client email address or can an email address be mine? I want them to email to me first so that I can mark them with DocuSign and send them. Rhonda, give me 3 weeks and you won't have to do that because we will have DocuSign released. Yeah, what you are going to be able to do is integrate DocuSign into CAS 360 so you don't have to email them to yourself. Okay, so I will, yeah, hold for a few more weeks with that one because, yeah, you can definitely speed that process up so you don't have to export them. Today, if you want to use DocuSign, you do have to export them to PDF, then mark them up. But as I said, in a few weeks, you won't have to do that anymore. Did I miss it, or is the option to auto process the annual reviews not working yet? Well, we do process a number of steps, but we don't have straight through processing yet, Rhonda, yet. Patrice, Warren, is there a chance we can receive a copy of these questions and relevant answers? Yes, we'll post them in the community. If annual review documents are received back by a method other than DocuSign, should I be changing the status to lodged? Karen, should be changing the status to annual review complete. Okay, and what that will do is that will remove the alert, okay, from the alert from the document deadline alert. And Damien has answered the question. Damien from BGL has said that the SMSs will come from the number 0488844334. So that is the number that the phone that BGL own. We have to buy numbers to be able to send the SMSs, and that's the one that we have purchased. If there are any other questions, please type them in the Q&A and I will do there's a few more coming through. Okay, just getting to these questions now. Question here is the demo today covering the New Zealand version. Jason, a lot of the features I covered today are jurisdiction agnostic, so you're able to utilize them in New Zealand as well. But I can see Jeremy's contacted you and we'll certainly spend some time to show you some of the New Zealand specific features, but a lot of them I showed you today are very much relevant for New Zealand. New contacts added notification doesn't mean much without telling us which contacts have been added. I don't really see the value in this notification. Yes, Sophie, so with the new contacts added notification, the reason we don't specify which contacts are added is purely because they're added and there's no compliance work that needs to be done. It's essentially a contact has been added in one of the other apps. Where the contact is a director or a shareholder and an ASIC form needs to be prepared, that's when we get specific about the particular contacts. So if a contact has been added, so say for example, you add a new client in XPM, that client will be added to CAS 360, and we do just say new contacts added. But yeah, it's a good bit of feedback that we can certainly look to action, but that's essentially the explanation as to why, because there's no compliance work required. Can I send all my annual reports to just one email address, as I don't use DocuSign to attend to them with my own digital signing application? I think you were the one that was on Adobe Sign, and Jeremy has answered that. If it is Adobe Sign, then yeah, we've got some good news for you in a couple of weeks. Okay, it's a couple of thank yous. So thank you guys for the nice words. Okay, a couple more questions coming through. Does the automatic reminders contain a link to signing, or do they need to go back to the original email? Bianca, absolutely, it contains a link. If it's DocuSign, it contains a link. If it's just the PDF will be attached. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. What happens if a client decides to ring the number from the SMS? I don't have the answer to that. I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't think it'll answer. Maybe we should try it. Sorry, Jared, I don't have the answer. I have trouble fitting CAS onto my laptop screen while I'm working from home. I've had to shrink it to barely being able to read it to the send document remind button for my companies at the end of the list. Is there a way getting change to this? Yeah, Annette, certainly the alert pop-up with the companies at the bottom of the list is a little bit problematic if we run out of real estate. A workaround for it is to type the first 3 letters of the company name in the search, and then it will come to the top of the screen, and then you'll be able to process the alert. I know that's a little bit painful. Certainly it's something we want to address. So thank you, but that's probably the best way to get around it. Catherine, thank you for answering my questions, and sorry if I missed this in the presentation. How do I toggle on the blue alert? Yep, okay, so when you are in the annual review document production screen, just toggle it on, okay? And when you prepare the document, it will save, okay? So you must do that. You must toggle it on, and then you must either prepare the document or send the document, okay? Then it will save going forward for every annual review going forward. You only have to toggle it on once. Okay, but once it's toggled on, it will be saved going forward. Damien just says that he has dialed the number from the SMS and it comes up with an error. So thank you, Damien. It certainly wasn't anything that I had done. Guys, thank you so much for the questions, and I hope that you all enjoyed the webinar, and we're able to take a few little skills and tricks away from the webinar. If you do have any questions, please send them through. But thank you all very much for coming along today. Hopefully, we've been able to help you out. Thank you very much, guys, and bye for now.